Make sure you're not muted.
How can you tell?
To hit the screen or something. You are not muted. Okay. How do I find you?
Ooh, we're almost ready to get started.
Did you send a link to anyone that's
Yes.
not on your page or anything?
Yes. So we got one more minute. I gotta put my Mr. Rogers shoes on so my feet are supported, and then we'll get going.
The link is just to your YouTube page.
Yeah.
It doesn't show.
I don't have a link for this video.
It doesn't have a link. Then how is someone going to find you?
I gave them a direction to my page. It
I'm
takes
on-
a couple minutes before it comes up, remember?
Well, I'm on your page and it doesn't show up at all.
This is what happened last time. Just give it a
No,
couple
it's
minutes.
not.
I'm taller now. That's exciting.
I don't know how to find you.
It says we're rolling, so I'm gonna get started. Welcome everyone, I am Coach Marisa Reyes at The Power Within, empowering you, body, mind, and soul. We believe in the power within. If we work together, we can empower healthy and fulfilling lives for everyone by transforming ourselves, our relationships, and our work. And we can give the world an opportunity to experience what it's like to foster connection, share power, and lift each other up. Today we are focusing on your health. So our topic tonight is how to boost your immune system naturally by creating health. So I'm so glad that you joined us here tonight. This is an interactive experience. So if you are on your phone, there'll be a little thing at the bottom. It looks like a text message. That's where you can enter your questions or your comments and let us know that you're here. If you are on a desktop computer, there should be a chat box on the right-hand side, and there you can enter questions that you have or comments that you have as we go along. And AJ, my handy dandy tech support, he'll be reading off your questions or your comments as we go through our time together here tonight. So, we're waiting about technology. It says it's going. Yes. All right. Getting texts coming in that people are waiting, but it's not showing up there yet. I think it takes like 1 or 2 minutes for it to show. So.
It's live now.
Yay, it's live now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Welcome. Okay, now we know that the sound is working. AJ's gonna mute it so you don't hear a weird lag on the sound. All right, we are talking about how to boost your immune system naturally by creating health. So my goal for you tonight is to provide you with some guidance, encouragement, and support so that you can boost your immune system naturally by creating health. Hey Adam, I need you to turn off the sound. Thank you.
I need you to calm down.
So, okay, why am I sharing this? I mean, I think the answer should be obvious, but when I looked last week online about like how do you boost your immune system and like what's going on, there was like nothing recent out there. There was a couple of news stations that had things, and then everything was from like 4 or 5 years ago. So I was like, well, I mean, people need to know. There's a lot of fear and worrying going on right now. And so I wanted to make sure that I am providing you with the most up-to-date information on how to boost your immune system naturally. So that's what we're gonna do here tonight, because there is a lot that you can do. So I know that this situation that we're in feels really out of control, but I'm here to tell you that there is so much that you have control over that are going to make huge, huge impacts in a world where it feels like everything is like slipping through our fingers and just stressing us out. So I want to be a positive force for good for you tonight and help you make some healthier choices and create health and boost that resilience so that your immune system is strong and can handle whatever is being thrown at it. So tonight I'm going to give you my 8 tips. Count, wait, how do I even do that? 8! So, let's get started. The most important thing for you to know, and I will probably say it multiple times while we have our time here together, is your first line of defense is a healthy lifestyle. So every part of your body functions better when we are protected from inflammation. So everything I'm going to teach you here tonight is supporting your body in eliminating inflammation. We're going to be reducing stress. We're going to be putting in lots of good things so that our body can do the work that it's designed to do. So let's get started. All right. Numero uno. The very first thing that you can do. Oh, Andrea said it's not playing. Is it still going?
You're live.
All right. She just texted me and said that it's.
If you go to Facebook, it's posted on your Facebook page, the link.
Okay. Well, she can't hear me, so.
It's playing.
Okay. Sorry, Andrea. I can't text you while I'm doing this, but
I'm watching it live.
AJ's got it. Okay. Number 1, cut out sugar and refined starches. So a couple of weeks ago, yay! John says he can see me. Thanks, Johnny K. Cutting out the sugar and the refined starches is your number 1 way to reduce inflammation. So sugar in all the forms causes inflammation. So that's going to cause your body to not work properly. It's kind of like putting like goo. Think of your body as like this finely tuned automotive, like you're a high-end sports racing vehicle, and then you're just going to pour some sludge into the gas tank. And obviously that would be a terrible decision to do. You're going to ruin the vehicle and you're not going to get optimal performance. The same thing is true with our bodies. So when we are eating foods that have added sugars or foods that quickly convert into sugars in our body, that is the equivalent of us putting sludge into the gas tank. So sugar is also highly addictive. So that's why if you've tried to cut it out in the past and make better choices, it's actually 10 times more addictive than cocaine or heroin. So they've got studies that show how both the, cocaine or heroin and sugar light up the areas of our brain. And ooh man, the sugar one is way more intense. And in fact, I can't remember if it was mice or rats, probably lab mice. But when they were given a choice between cocaine water and sugar water, they chose the sugar water 9 times out of 10. So that's just like a perspective for you to be like, why am I having a hard time giving up those donuts or that Diet Coke or, my favorite potato chips or, Frosted Flakes for my breakfast or even the Chobani yogurt, which, a lot of these companies tell you that they have a healthy product, but they've added a ton of sugar to it, and that's why you can't live without it. So if you can break that addiction to sugar, then you get to take control of your health. You'll break the cravings so that instead of craving donuts and a coffee late at night, that you'll be craving things like mixed nuts and maybe some dates. That's usually what I crave. So, and those are the kinds of things that under stress, when we're eating that, are going to support our bodies versus the junk food and the highly refined foods, the highly processed foods. Basically, if it's coming in a can, a bag, or a box, that's not how nature intended it. And so there are going to be added chemicals in it, including sugar, to make you be addicted and make you never want to stop eating that particular product. And that's smart business for a food company because they're going to make sure that they always have you as a customer, but it's not smart business for your health because the things that they're putting in there are not good for you. So how do we break that addiction to sugar and the things that convert to sugar quickly? So those are things like breads, cereals, pasta, white rice, like the minute rice. Like there's a reason it cooks in a minute. They've taken out all the fiber. And so a detox will help you break that addiction to those types of foods.
Shefali says hi.
Hi, Shefali! They're all popping up on the screen too, which is a little wild as I'm looking at the screen talking, but I can't really read them. So I'm glad that you're there, AJ. Sifting through it all because there's a lot of words on my screen right now. Okay, so you can break your addiction to all that junk and sugar in just 7 days. And I have been doing this now for 10 years, and I just finished my 37th detox the first week of March. And so I have figured out how to do this in a way that is easy, enjoyable, smooth, and successful. So, a lot of, I have clients that after just 3 days of following the detox program that I have, their friends are like, wow, are you losing weight? You look great. Which is pretty incredible to think that in just 3 days, your body can already start to be changing that dramatically. And so it doesn't have to be as hard as we're making it out to be. So I've got resources for you there. I've got a how to detox video on this YouTube channel. You can also pre-order a detox guide where I walk you through step-by-step everything that you would need to know in order to successfully do it, and even how to choose which form of detox is right for you. So I've got a functional detox, which is good for everyone, and then a vibrant detox, which is if you're already a pretty healthy eater, that's going to be probably the one that you choose because it'll take it up another notch. But like I said, the functional detox, every single person can do, and can do it successfully and have amazing results. In fact, the example I just gave you where after 3 days people were already getting like, hey, are you losing weight? What did you do? That was on the functional detox. So you can head over to coachmarissa.com. It's there and ready for you to pre-order. Okay, so that was number 1. Number 2, eat whole foods that are nutrient dense. So that's everything that I coach my clients through, is how to do that because it's easier said than done. Because again, so much of what food manufacturers are doing is telling you that their product is healthy when it's not directly how nature created it. So what does a healthy whole foods nutrient dense diet look like? All right, I hope you're taking notes because here it comes. Lots and lots of veggies. 8 to 10 cups of vegetables a day. I know, that's not a typo. 8 to 10 cups of vegetables a day will keep the doctor away. So for most people, that's an alarming amount of vegetables. I know when I was growing up, vegetables consisted of 1 scoop of whatever my mom had prepared, and we called it done. So I've come a long way from a 1 scooper to eating a minimum of now 8 cups of vegetables a day. And if that seems like a daunting task for you, don't worry. That's where I come in to help you. So 8 to 10 cups of vegetables a day. 2 to 3 servings of fruit. So a lot of those are really obvious, like 1 banana, 1 apple. If you're doing things that like berries, that's like 3/4 of a cup would be considered a serving size. Anybody have any fruit questions and I can like give you a direct answer on that. I know I'm like a walking encyclopedia of having like all this stuff in my head. So might as well test it on out.
Andrea asked, where do babies come from?
I don't believe you, Adam. I think that is an unrelated question.
This was earlier. I wasn't looking.
Oh, where do babies come from?
She asked that earlier.
Great. A sperm and an egg join together and start replicating. Woohoo!
Okay, she's like, thank you for that question.
Nope, it came right up on the screen. It says, no, I didn't!
All right, maybe I'm looking at the wrong.
Because sexual health is one of my favorite things to teach. So, if you get me going on that train, that could be a whole separate, different Friday night. Not tonight, though. All right, we've got our veggies. We've got our 2 to 3 servings of fruit. Then you want to make sure that you are having protein at every single meal. And now this is going to be shocking for you as well. We're talking like 4 to 6 ounces if you're an adult. Okay? Obviously, if you're 5, that seems like a lot. So, you'll scale it back for kids. But in order for you to be able to build and maintain your immune cells, John just sent me a text, but I couldn't see it. John, you can type it into the chat that's on your phone. It's like at the bottom. It's got like the text icon. You can just type it in there and then AJ will read it to me because I couldn't. You said something about a cucumber. Is that appropriate?
I don't know if you want to know what John
I was just going to say, is that appropriate? I'm not sure.
Come on, Johnny K.
It's Johnny K. Oh, God. Okay, protein is necessary for your body to build and maintain immune cells, as well as every other type of cell in your body. So you need to make sure. Oh, I'm reading the chat as it's going on here. AJ is a lying liar. Thank you, Andrea, for speaking some truth.
Okay, you want to talk about that? Isn't that a double negative?
Is a lying liar.
That means I tell the truth all the time.
Okay. Okay, so again, protein. We're going to go back to last week when we were talking about the 3 Ps. So when you're choosing your protein, your vegetables, your fruits, your nuts, etc., you want them to be as close to how nature created them as possible. So that means the 3 Ps, you can pluck it out of the ground. That would be your vegetables. You could pick it from a tree. That would be fruits and nuts. Or you could pierce it with a spear. So think about if you were out hunting for your meat, then they would not come in a chicken finger form because that's not what chickens look like. So having things like a cut of beef, so whether it's roast beef or hamburger or something like that would be just fine. I recommend...
Andrea said eggs? Question mark?
Eggs, yes. Your serving size for eggs would be a minimum of 2 eggs, and if you're like really working out hard and doing a lot of demanding physical activity, then it would be 3 eggs. The whole egg, okay? There's 2 different forms of cholesterol. There is the cholesterol that your body makes to heal things that are broken, and then there's the cholesterol that's in food. They're different, and so that's where eggs got a bad rep for a really long time, but they are a good and healthy fat for you, and yes, eat them up. There is no need for you to separate the yolks out. They are very, very good for you. So eat the whole thing, and it will save you a lot of money, and then you're not wasting resources either. So with your eggs, the best way to get your eggs is if they are free range. Sometimes it will say like pastured, which gets confusing because that's different than pasteurized. But what you really want is for your chickens to be able to run around and forage, because they'll eat bugs and stuff too while they're doing that, versus a chicken that has been either trapped in a cage or trapped in those giant barns where they have like thousands of them in there at a time. And so cage free gets to be a little tricksy because a lot of the big operations, they'll have an access point where the chickens could go outside if they wanted to, but they're not really. And so the labeling can get very confusing. So the easiest way to do it is get them locally. So you can get them from your local farmer, at your farmer's market. That's what I've been doing all winter, is getting mine from the Reuter family farms. I love your eggs, everybody. Your grocery store has a great supply as well. But just remember, any form of eggs is gonna be better than eating cereal for breakfast. So even if you bought the cheapest eggs you can find, it's still better for you than Frosted Flakes.
What about for vegans and vegetarians?
Great question. So tofu and tempeh are the two best recommendations for a plant-based protein. You want to make sure that they are non-GMO, okay? Because those are the best forms for you. Then in the Empowered Lifestyle, I think it's also in my detox guide, I will have smoothie recipes too that don't use dairy. They use like nuts and seeds and healthy fats, and that's how you're getting your source of protein as well. So you can pre-order that detox guide if you want, or you can also look them up online. I got them all from Dr. Mark Hyman in his Eat Fat, Get Thin. So those were his recommendations, and they were vegetarian, non-dairy. So if you are a vegetarian, other sources of protein would be beans, lentils, quinoa. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I had been using, but I just recently cut those out because I wasn't where I wanted to be with my health, and so I learned that that those can, if you're carbohydrate sensitive, they can actually cause you to be puffy and bloated and have a difficult time losing weight. So it was like an instantaneous change for me to cut those out. So I understand if you are a vegetarian, then there's more challenges to it. So you could also incorporate dairy, although dairy is inflammatory. So it's all about having choices and options. So luckily, when I'm coaching my clients, I give them a whole plethora of options, and then they can choose from that, and then we can work together specifically on whatever way of eating you are choosing to do so that we can optimize it for your health. Great questions. Thank you. Keep them coming. Okay. So what not to eat? Anything that is in a bag, a box, and possibly a can. Just be careful. Like if we're talking like the Pringles can, that would be the kind of can I'm talking about. Cereal is never healthy for you, because let me tell you this, if you were to try to eat any sort of cereal product, even oatmeal, without adding sugar to it, bleh. I tried and tried and tried with oatmeal to like make it without having a sugar added, and it was like eating paste. And that is why there's lots of sugar added to those things, because if you just ate corn or wheat or bran or oats all by itself, bleh, nobody would buy that product because it's terrible. So those are things to not eat. Also, rice cakes, right? I mean, if you think back to dieting over the last 30 years, rice cakes have been a staple item for people who are trying to lose weight. You're basically eating this tasteless, crunchy air. And I was shocked to learn that they are not good for your health because there's almost no fiber in it. It's actually a highly processed food. And so, bring on the roast beef instead, or bring on the eggs, bring on the almond butter. Those things are going to give you both satisfaction and health instead of eating crunchy air, which is not satisfying and doesn't help you lose weight. It actually causes you to gain weight, which you would think we would have figured it out, but marketing is really powerful.
Question!
Yes.
What oils do you recommend for cooking?
Excellent question. Coconut oil is amazing because it's good at every temperature if you're actually cooking. Olive oil is amazing, but you can't have that be anything above medium heat, otherwise it starts to smoke, which has happened here often.
Why are you looking at me?
Because AJ really likes to cook with olive oil, and then I'll see the smoke like billowing down the hallway, and all of our windows are sealed, and so I'm like, oh my gosh! So coconut oil, if you're going to cook under any type of heat, is great. Those are the two best for cooking. Then if you're looking at salads, You can use oils like flaxseed oil would also be great. Obviously olive oil is like the all-purpose. Sesame oil. I'm trying to think, am I missing anything? Avocado oil, they sell that now at Aldi, so that's an easily available choice. And then any sort of like nut oil, although I haven't seen those as widely available. So hopefully that answers your question. Don't heat flaxseed oil. It's not meant to be heated, so it will turn it rancid. So just make sure you're not heating flaxseed oil. There's lots of other choices, and I have those in my food lists for my clients. So that would also be in the detox guide as well. So if you are a more discerning shopper, you might have more choices available to you, but those are the ones that are available at all the local grocery stores in my area. So, okay. Another thing, as far as putting in good, whole, nutrient-dense foods, eating fermented foods to support your microbiome. So your microbiome, if you follow anything in functional medicine, your microbiome that makes up your whole digestive system is really the root of all of your health. And so now they're even finding that it's like your second brain. It's like the command center for everything that's going on in your body. And so we want to make sure that we are supporting that. And so if you've heard over the past few years a lot of buzz about probiotics, that's what we're talking about here. So fermented foods have naturally occurring probiotics in them. So my favorite choice is kombucha because it's a tasty beverage. It detoxifies my liver. It gives me lots of B vitamins as well, and has digestive enzymes in it. So for me, it's like a win-win-win-win. And I tried it out and I liked it. So if you're thinking about kombucha, I recommend going to the store and buying a bottle. GT's is my favorite. It's the closest to my recipe that I can find. But now you'll see that there's these massive sections available. There's like 15 different companies now that have joined into the kombucha experience, but GT's was the first that was really widely available. So test it out, see if you like it. If you do, then you can actually start brewing your own kombucha at home at a fraction of the cost. I think I spend $6 a week on brewing 2 gallons of kombucha for myself, and that will get me through 2 weeks. Whereas a bottle of kombucha is anywhere from like $3.50 to $4 a bottle, and I drink a bottle a day. So you can see where that math adds up really fast. So I'll probably do a video on how to make kombucha if that is something that you guys want, and I'll show you my process because I've been doing that now for, when did I start? Was it 2014 or 2015 is when I started making kombucha. So probably 2015 in May. And so I've been doing it ever since, and I'm loving it. So other fermented foods that you could eat that would help promote
pickles.
Pickles aren't fermented. They're just pickled.
Well, okay.
I'm sorry. You know, AJ's one of his favorite foods is pickles, and it's not my favorite food. Okay, so other options that you have are miso, kimchi, kefir, tempeh, and sauerkraut. Now, if you're going to do sauerkraut, make sure it's not one that has sugar added to it. So you got to read the ingredients label. It should just be cabbage and water and maybe some salt. You can make it yourself if you are a daring. Oh, Andrea loves miso, me too. Although I can never say it without quoting Two Live Crew. So I'm just gonna, if you guys can fill in that blank for yourself.
What do you do with miso?
Miso, like the brand that I got, that was available at my local natural food store, Fresh and Natural. I bought the chickpea brown rice miso because I didn't want the regular, I think it's like, usually it's like white rice, I think is what they use. I'm not sure. That was the brand I used, and I would just take a teaspoon of it and put it along with my breakfast, and then I would dip my fork in it before I scooped up my food, and that was how I got more probiotics. So there's like I guess a miso soup. It's kind of like an ingredient, almost like a seasoning. I don't do a ton of Asian cooking, and so I can't really speak to it as well, but I know that that's a big component of it. So there you go. Okay, And then finally, lots of herbs and spices in the food that you're cooking. Specific immune system boosters are onions, garlic. So if you've noticed over the past few weeks, these items have been like missing from the grocery store because everybody probably Googled it, like, hey, what are immune system boosting foods? And then went out and bought them all up. So if they're out of stock, you'll know why. So these are specific ones. So onions, garlic, oregano, ginger, and that can be in the ginger root form or in a ground up spice form, as well as turmeric, which did you know has 2 R's in it? I didn't. I always thought it was turmeric, but it's like turmeric. Anyway, those are all powerful anti-inflammatories as well. So if you can incorporate that into the meals that you're preparing, that will be great. And in fact, the majority of the recipes that I have on CoachMarisa.com have those ingredients in there in some way, shape, or form. So feel free to go over there and check that out. There's a ton of them there. And like my Powerhouse Breakfast has a bunch of those in there. The Apple a Day salad. Most of the... No, I don't think I haven't put those up there yet. A lot of the meat that I prepare, like if it's ground meat, I usually add onions to it along with like powdered garlic or fresh garlic. So it depends on what's your cooking style and how you like to do it. But, you know, they can easily be incorporated into meals throughout your day. Okay, item 3. Drink plenty of fluids, especially warm fluids. So things like water, herbal teas, soups and broths. Again, I would encourage that it would be a homemade soup so that you know what's going in there, because canned soups are full of chemicals. Their ingredients list, if it's more than like 5 things that you can pronounce, then you should not buy it, because those are the chemicals that they're using to make sure that you are addicted to that food, and they're not going to support your health. So I've got a couple different recipes for soups on CoachMarisa.com, so you can try those out. What not to drink. This one's stuffy. Things like vitamin water that has aspartame added to it, which is a neurotoxin, very bad for you. Pop is not good for you. So if you really like a fizzy drink, that's where kombucha can come in. It's a fizzy drink that's also good for you. And
what's my fizzy drink?
AJ really likes mineral water. That doesn't have any added sugars. He likes to have that with a squeeze of lime in there. What else to not drink? You guys have any questions about beverages? Juice. Juice is, they've done a great marketing campaign, but juice is just a pure sugar. So when you think about a glass of orange juice, that's actually probably 5 or 6 oranges. And I challenge you, I doubt that you would be able to eat 5 or 6 oranges in one sitting. But the reason you can drink it down is because it's taken out all of the fiber. And so that's like a Puron. It's actually just as bad for your body as if you were drinking like a can of Mountain Dew. So stay away from juice because it's not going to support your body. If you really like apples, then eat an apple. If you really like oranges, eat an orange. But you don't need to drink that in a beverage form. Because when you take the fiber out of foods, then it is going to spike your blood sugar really, really high. And then it will very shortly thereafter crash. And then that's where cravings come in. And that's where you get, you need some caffeine in the middle of the day because you've just had a big crash from
What about LaCroix water?
I think LaCroix is okay. You would have to look at the ingredients. I think when we were at your birthday, I was looking at some of the cans. I'm pretty sure I didn't see anything that was alarming there.
Well, if they don't post it, they say natural flavoring.
Yeah, so if you have any food product that lists spices or natural flavorings, those are red flags. That means that they have incorporated sugar and other addictive chemicals in there, like maybe like an MSG. They're not going to put MSG probably in a water, but in a food, they definitely would. And that's how they get away with it, by just using that blanket term. So if you are a discerning shopper, which I hope you all are, You would not give money to a company that is not being totally honest and upfront with you about what they're putting in the food that they're making for you. So that's why cooking your own meals is like the greatest investment that you can make in your health, because you know exactly what's going in there.
Here's what LaCroix says.
Oh, AJ's gonna read it for us.
It says it's natural essence oils extracted from named fruit. There are no sugars or artificial ingredients contained nor added to extract these flavors.
Awesome. So they're using essential oils as their flavoring. That's awesome. Yes. So then LaCroix would pass the test. It would meet my rigorous standards for a healthy beverage. So good job.
Now I'm gonna go check them on Snoops.
I don't know what that is. Okay. We are on now to item number 4 in boosting your immune system, and that would be maintaining a healthy weight. So if you follow everything that I talk about today in the 8 steps, that should get you well on your way to maintaining a healthy weight. So I will go much more in depth onto that topic next week on our next Friday night's YouTube Live. So I'm not going to talk a ton about that here, because here is all the tactical, this is what you do. And if you're able to put all these pieces together, that is actually how you maintain a healthy weight or lose weight if that is your goal. Okay, so that was my fastest one, because next week we'll spend like an hour talking about all of that. Number 5, exercise regularly. So this, when you're exercising, it releases endorphins. So that helps to both reduce pain and it creates pleasure feelings. So this is a key component in stress management as well. So moving your body and helping it be strong helps all of your cells do their job. So I've got a whole playlist of over 30 minutes of dance breaks. So if you are quarantining yourself and you're stuck inside, just go to that playlist. It's on the channel right here, and you'll have at least 30 minutes in a row of music that you can dance to commercial free. Yeah. And if you don't know how to dance and you're not sure what to do, you can watch me on the screen and copy what I'm doing. So that's one way. Yesterday, I just posted a beginner Tai Chi video. So again, it's a physical activity that you can easily do in your home. It promotes your health. So if you are feeling under the weather, Tai Chi will help bolster your energy and your health. It's so good for you. When in the summertime, I used to teach it every day at a summer program that I was doing. Oh my gosh, I felt amazing when I could do it every single day. So there are incredible health benefits to it. And if you're, new to working out, it's a great place to start. And in fact, my instructor who taught it to me, she would teach it at senior centers. So it was something that wasn't very demanding on your joints or your body and had incredible health benefits. So check that one out. I walk you through it all step by step. And I'll have more videos coming out as well for workouts that you can do from home. So you can work out with me. Yeah! You can also go for a walk. That is a great way to get the body moving. This doesn't have to be crazy, intense physical activity. Now, if you're a hardcore person and that's the kind of thing you like to do and you still have access to that, great. But if you're just getting started and you've been sitting around all winter, I don't want you to go all out right in the beginning, because a lot of times people will go so hard that they hurt themselves and then they're out of the game for the next month, and then that didn't really do you any good anyway. So a 20-minute walk every day is an incredible thing to do that's going to benefit your health, both physically and mentally. It gets you out of your head and all of the worries, and it just kind of like dissipates it all. So, and then if you can, exercise outdoors. Now I know in Minnesota, we just had our first 60-degree day. So today was like the first day where we could really be outside and have skin exposed. But if you live in an area that is a lot warmer, summer will come, so it will get here. So if you can work out outside so that you're also generating vitamin D, so that would mean you'd have to do it when the sun's up. So, doing a 10 p.m. walk is not going to get you vitamin D. And we're going to talk a little bit more about vitamin D a little bit later here and why it's so important for your health. So, and you're probably going stir crazy. So that's why it's nice to get up and move, and you can either do something inside your home or get outside of the home and do that. So this week I've been going for walks and talking with people on the phone so that I was, social distancing, not sharing my germs, because I'm still sick with a cough. But it was a great way to break the loneliness of it. And sometimes they'd even go for a walk with me. So then we're both getting our movement in. Okay, number 6. I gotta put this down.
How many are there?
6! There's 8. Jeez, Adam, were you not paying attention?
I'm trying to keep up with chat.
Is there any other questions?
No, we're just talking about stuff.
Okay. Number 6, relieve stress. So this is really, really important for supporting your immune system. So that's why last week I did a whole episode on all the different ways in which you can release stress in healthy ways to restore peace. So there's tons and tons. I even walk you through them step by step so you can do it along with the video. But when your cortisol levels are high, that is your stress hormone, it actually turns off your immune system. So, if you're out and you come across I don't know, do we have a threatening animal in Minnesota? A mountain lion? A cougar? Right? Our brain is like fight or flight. And so in order to survive that situation, our body is going to turn off all the non-essential things at that point in time so that we can survive the threat. So, yay if it allows you to get away from the mountain lion.
Wolves.
Bad, thank you, wolves, yes. Bad if this is now your daily experience because of the stress in your life. So if you're, we're in a situation where it can be very stressful 24/7. We have a lot of unknowns, a lot of risks going on. Your work situation has probably changed. Your family situation has changed. Access to resources has changed. All of those things are stressors. And if you are not careful to make sure that every day you're taking action to relieve stress, that chronic stress means that the cortisol is just going to be going drip, drip, drip all day long, turning off your immune system. So that's why when people are under a lot of stress, that their health suffers as well. So cortisol is also the hormone that causes you to gain weight. So let's say you're super healthy, you're being physically active, you're making great healthy choices, you're eating a whole foods diet, and you've cut out all the crap, and you're still not losing weight. It could be from stress in your life. So I always tell my clients, the number one thing that will sabotage your success is stress. And so if you're not being very proactive every single day to relieve stress or reduce the stress that you are experiencing that's inevitable in your life, then it's going to be detrimental for your health. So what are some things you can do? Well, a great one is meditate. There's so much science and data now that support the incredible health benefits of meditation. I know for me, that was a hard place to start. And so this was at least now 10 years ago, maybe 15, when my karate instructor was like, you should meditate, Marissa. I was like, I don't know how. And she's like, you know what? Just go sit outside for 5 minutes. And obviously the trees had the leaves at the time, but she's like, just lay on the ground or lay on if you have a table outside or something, and look up at the leaves for just 5 minutes. And so that is where I began my meditation journey. And since then, it's now part of my daily routine. In fact, as part of my success, I say, I take action, or I reduce my stress for a minimum of 10 minutes every day. So that means I'm meditating, and I just set a timer, and I put on some calming music that I really dig. That's the way I do it. Now, the idea that you would calm the mind and have it be empty is totally false. Okay, like that's not what meditation is. So a lot of people try it and then say, well, I failed because my brain was just going blah, blah, blah. For me, meditation helps me to sort through all of that and kind of like file it where it needs to go, or if I need to process something. It's also a place where I can do like brainstorming. And sometimes it's like just me having an interaction with like a higher power, being like, I've got some questions. I don't really like what's going on here. Do you have any guidance for me? So make meditation work for you. So I recommend just start like I did, 5 minutes a day. It will help you. And it will also help your brain get out of the intense reaction mode when you face adversity. So it rewires everything and helps you have a much calmer response to challenges that you face in your life. So I've noticed a huge change in my own, I don't know, is personality the right way? My own way of responding to things since I started meditating from when I wasn't. So you could also journal. Another option is to do an activity that you enjoy. So that's a stress reliever. So maybe it's dancing, maybe you want to color, maybe you really enjoy cooking. I don't know, feel free to type in the chat some things that you really like to enjoy and I'll shout those out. And then you could also use any of the instant stress relievers that I've got in the How to Boost Resilience video. So just start with 5 minutes every day because you want to pick something. Ooh, painting. Yes, that would work. So you want to pick something that's an easy mark that you know you can hit every single day. Now, can you do more than 5 minutes a day? Absolutely. But if you start thinking that, oh, well, this thing, playing with my dog, yes, perfect. Thank you, Andrea. If you start making it into this like really big thing, then you won't be able to make time for it every single day. And then you're not getting the benefits out of it. So keep it small, keep it easy, keep it, I can't remember what those are called. Something about like the easiest minimum success target so that every day you feel like a winner because you did it. So I just set my timer for 10 minutes and I go to meditation town. And then I also do the deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and Reiki at the end of my day routine as well. So there's a lot of pieces that I make sure to incorporate in my day, so I'm supporting my health. Okay. Number 7.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Number 7 is get plenty of good quality sleep. So you only heal when you sleep. And so our culture has created this belief like sleep is for losers. Yeah, there's plenty of time to sleep when you're dead. Unrealistic expectations that are going to undermine your health. So if you've ever gone through a really rough health challenge, you understand the value of sleep. So when I had Lyme's disease, I had to sleep for 10 hours a day because that is what my body needed to be able to heal and recover from all the treatments and all of the crazy stuff that was going on inside my body as it was fighting this epic battle. And so the idea that we could do with like 4 or 5 hours of sleep a day is a terrible myth. So I remember when I took the ACT that was one of the like things you had to read and then answer questions about. And so they were talking about the presidents and like they just need to get 4 hours of sleep when they're good. Like that's why they age, folks. Like you see them in office and they don't look great because they're not getting the healing benefits of sleep. So minimum 8 hours a day. That's where you need to get yourself to. So if you're below that, like before I really understood the power of sleep, I was lucky if I hit 7 and I thought that was a pretty sweet spot. And then the universe showed me like, you're going to need way more than that. So if you are fighting off something and your immune system is fully engaged, just please give yourself permission to sleep way more than 8 hours a day. That's why when you're sick, you sleep a lot during the day. Please don't just sit around and read books and watch stuff on your phone or your computer because you don't get to heal while you're doing it. So yes, you're resting, meaning you're not being super active, but you're not getting the wonderful benefits of healing that come with sleep. So sleep deprivation will increase your cortisol level, which we already talked about, will undermine your immune system and also your ability to lose weight. So some sleep hacks that I have for you. You need to get off your phone or away from screens a minimum of 1 hour before bedtime, because the light triggers or prevents your melatonin from kicking in to allow you to start the shutdown process so that you can go to sleep. So if you're on your screens right before you go to bed, that's an easy change that you can make. And if you're not willing to give that up, you at least should filter out the blue light. There's lots of those filters available now on phones. But again, it's a source of stimulation that is not preparing your body for sleep. So the second tip I have for you is create a nighttime routine. So for me, that means I'm going to take a hot bath with Epsom salts, and then I'm going to stretch, which will be probably my next video coming out because I haven't edited that yet, but I filmed it 2 days ago. So I do my nightly stretch routine, and then I've got my, face washing, brush your teeth, jammies on, all that jazz. And then my gratitude practice and my affirmations. And then once I'm laying down in bed, like, can you see this? This is a long process for me. Everybody's like, wow, it takes you so long to go to bed. Worth it. It's worth it for me. But then once I'm in bed, that's where I do the progressive muscle relaxation and deep breathing, and then Reiki, say my daily prayers, and I'm out. So if you are doing steps 1 through 6, then you should have incredible sleep. If you're skipping some of those steps, that's probably why you're having a difficult time sleeping. And especially during stressful times, that's why all those other things are so important, because your sleep will suffer if you can't turn off your brain. How long does that take me? It takes me 3 hours. So for me to do the hot bath takes about an hour, stretching takes 30 minutes, and then then there's always something that interrupts what I'm doing. But then it takes me like 45 minutes to journal and do the affirmations and like the face washing, all that jazz, and get into bed. So, but it's worth it for me. So the only time I skip it is if I'm sick. Good question. Thank you, Andrea. Even just doing one part of that will be beneficial to you. And you will create a routine that works for you. My routine does not need to be
How long does it take, though?
I already answered that. I said it takes me about 3 hours. So I got to start at 10 p.m. if I want to get to bed by 1 a.m., which is my usual bedtime. Okay, and then the last thing for your sleep hack is to create a slumber chamber. So that means room darkening shades. So if you have I grew up in a house that we had just like the pull down shades. And when we moved into the house that my parents still live in, it was incredible. We had blinds. I couldn't sleep at all. They let in all kinds of light. So I just started sleeping like with a towel around my head. I hadn't yet discovered a sleep mask. So at the hardware store, those shades are really inexpensive. If you don't have room darkening shades already, it would be totally worth the investment to just go get yourself some, and then use a sleep mask so that if you have, someone you're sharing your room with, if they've got to turn on the light, it doesn't wake you up. Because they found that even like a pinprick of light, if they Sean, I can't remember his last name. Is it Hayes? No, it's not Hayes. That's an actor. He's the sleep hack guy. Like if you look up sleep hacks, he'll come up. Sean Stevenson, that's what it is. So he was quoting a study where they took like a pen flashlight and they were shining it on the back of someone's knee while they were sleeping, and that was enough light to wake them up, which is crazy. So if you have light coming into your room, and that would be preventing you from getting your 8 hours of sleep, make sure that you are taking action then to minimize that. And then also, earplugs are an amazing invention that can stop a lot of infighting. So had I known about that when I shared a room with my sister growing up, I would have been a lot happier. So those are all some very simple things that you can do to create an atmosphere that is conducive to sleep. And remember, 8 hours minimum. That's where you want to get to so that you can have vibrant health. Okay, and then number 8, vitamin D. So there's a reason why we get sick this time of year. Your body can only store vitamin D that we generate from being outside and active all summer long. You can only store that in your body for up to 3 months. So I don't know if you're anything like me, but the last day that I was able to sit outside and have skin exposed was in October, which means by January, I am down to 0 vitamin D in my system. And no, I'm not sitting outside in January because the only thing that's exposed on me is this, if you've ever seen how I dress. So no, I'm not getting vitamin D. So by January, February, March, our immune system is super depleted because we don't have any vitamin D. And vitamin D, if you are deficient, you are 11 times more likely to get the cold or flu. That's why we get sick in the winter time, because we don't have the vitamin D that supports our body in fighting those kinds of things off. And vitamin D can help reduce colds by 42%. So the easiest way to get your vitamin D is sunshine, if you can be out in it. And so today I sat out there for 30 minutes in the sun. It was amazing. I like my hands got sunshine. Like I still had sleeves on and stuff, but like, I know you can't tell that I got tan, but I was in the sun. But if you are in a place where it's not yet warm enough for you to be actively being outside for a minimum 20 minutes, no sunscreen, that's what you need in order for your body to start generating the vitamin D. You can use a supplement. And so if you're going to supplement with vitamin D, you need to take vitamin D3 with K2, okay? So those two nutrients work together in synergy to give you the best results, okay? So that's the only recommendation that I'm giving you today that would be in a supplement form. Everything else is just part of your normal lifestyle. And then as we transition into more warmth and sunshine, you would be able to get that vitamin D, hopefully by being outside on a sunny day or even on a cloudy day, and build that vitamin D back up. That's why we don't hear about a lot of like sickness epidemics happening in the spring and summertime. That's because our vitamin D has been now restored and is doing its job. So you build a strong immune system by maintaining healthy eating habits over time. So you can't just get up one morning, eat 4 oranges and be like, I got my vitamin C, I'm set. Like that does not produce lasting results. If you want to have a strong immune system, this is going to be a daily practice for you of all of these habits. So I offer lots and lots of options to help you on that journey for creating health. So I've got a Powerhouse newsletter that comes out weekly. If you aren't receiving that, hop on over to CoachMarisa.com. It's free. Just type in your email address and then you'll get that. And I've got empowerment tips, videos for like the workout videos will be coming out there. That's where my dance breaks come out, recipes and other strategies and tools that will help you be more resilient. So all of that is there. That's what goes into the Powerhouse newsletter. I've got all those recipes that are free and available to you on CoachMarisa.com, so you can go start making some healthy choices that way. A lot of the detox recipes come from those. Those are the ones that I'm using on a regular basis. And when you have to eat 8 to 10 cups of vegetables a day, man, you don't want to just be eating green beans and carrots. It requires a lot of creativity on my part to not get bored. And so I'm sharing with you the favorites that I have, that I love, that give me great variety. So, and making sure that you are eating as many colors in the rainbow as possible, not coming from Skittles. Okay, they say taste the rainbow, but that is not for your health. We're talking about the fruits and vegetables that are incredible in helping provide your body everything that it needs to be strong. Okay, next Friday, I'm gonna do another YouTube Live. This one, we're gonna talk about how to lose weight and feel great. So we'll go much more in depth on those topics since we just touched on a tiny little bit today. And I'll share the key pieces that you are missing that are preventing you from having lasting success to lose weight and keep it off for good. You can also pre-order the detox guide. It's on CoachMarissa.com. It's $19.99, and that will walk you through everything you need to do for a 7-day detox to break your addiction to sugar and take back your power and reclaim your health. And then I have an empowered lifestyle program. So this is a step-by-step guide that will help you to transform your health and apply everything that we've talked about here today. So just know that you don't have to do this alone. That's a really hard road to go down, and I'm here to support you on that journey. And also for you to take these healthy habits and make them stick. So there's coaching also available to help you restore peace and protect your health. And there's lots of options available based on your budget, your needs, and your commitment level. So I'm sure that there's something that will work for you. So one of my clients said, I am down 20 pounds just by following your recommendations, and I have kept it off for 7 months. And this is someone who just did the self-directed program. Like, really, he just got my food list and had incredible results like that. Hasn't even gone through detoxing or any of that jazz. So imagine what would happen if you put it all together. So if you have tried to cut out the junk and make healthier choices without lasting success, I bet you're missing a few components. And that's what we're going to talk about next Friday night. I can show you what those are so that you can have the health, the energy, and the confidence that you've always wanted. The empowered lifestyle is a solution that you have been looking for to create sustainable, vibrant health. So if you are serious about making a healthy lifestyle, or maintaining a healthy lifestyle, I should say, I offer a free Creating Health coaching session to everyone who is committed to transforming their health. So to get your free session, just head on over to CoachMarissa.com. I believe in you. You can do this. I'm Coach Marisa Reyes at The Power Within, empowering you, body, mind, and soul. Thanks, everyone!
Woo! Whoop, 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 wah, 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 wah.